Believers, that's right. It's that time again. We're doing a doubleheader tonight. First off, we're talking about Season 4, Episode 16. That's right. We're talking Kill Mill, so stick around.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
There we go.
Tis the season.
It is. It's Spooktober.
Yes, it is.
Oh, thanks be to Mr. Skeletal.
And there's a lot of corpses in this house. Maybe not 1,000.
Guys, you know what time it is. See, it's Wednesday night. The time is right. We're talking Season 4, Episode 16 of Lucha Underground. That's right. We're talking Kill Mill. My name is Ty Matthews. Y'all can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. To my left, not Jimmo in the booth.
I'm the internet's Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at the same place.
You absolutely can. A member of our OG crew. We always are thrilled to have him back.
And I'm always thrilled to see what state this show is in. But
you don't watch quite as regularly as you did when you were regular on the show.
Unfortunately not.
But that means that you get to parse these things out in your own time.
Oh my God.
And as we were watching the show, I got the pleasure of catching you up on the last maybe month or two.
A little bit.
Of Lucha Underground wackiness.
Woo.
Which included time travel and resurrection and lots of death. And all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm mostly, I knew this was going to be a distraction. I'm mostly surprised at the amount of death of our original cast.
A lot of people are dying this season.
Yeah, when you think of this as television, which I do more frequently than I think of it as wrestling, it's amazing to see how many people are going to survive.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Josh, also on the ones and twos, manning our trusty Nancy. I almost called her Lucy. What the hell am I doing?
What's wrong with you?
It used to be Mark's job. Now it's in the trusted hands of Josh. Thank you so much for joining us for this program.
Yosh,
if you're nasty.
Yosha.
So let's get into this episode. We're doing a doubleheader tonight. Let's get into 6-man tag team action, trios action, if you will.
I will.
Evilise, Exolicious, and Joey Ryan taking on the reptile tribe of Daga, Cobra Moon, and Jeremiah Snake.
I'm a little surprised that the trio of Exolicious and Evie and Joey Ryan is still kind of a thing, because last time I was here, I believe, was when Joey sort of turned over this new leaf, but I still don't trust it.
Right.
I just don't. I don't have a good feeling.
There hasn't been, we talked a little bit about it, there hasn't really been enough to kind of show us why this is happening. Really all we saw is Jack Evans attack Exolicious, and Joey just said, hey, quit it.
Stop that.
And then,
Cut it out.
And now he's a good guy.
Yeah. I don't like that. You should quit it.
All of a sudden, Joey grew a conscience.
It's not the only thing that grew. That's dumb.
He is famous Dick wrestler Joey Ryan. But during this match, we also get the sort of in-temple debut. We've seen them in vignettes before, but we get the in-temple, in the proper temple, in the Ice House debut of this kind of new and improved Rabbit Tribe. We get Paul London, but we also get El Bunny, and we get the White Rabbit himself.
I'm a little disappointed in finding out the sacrifices of Saltador and Malasuerte, and because that iteration of the Rabbit Tribe was so entertaining,
right?
And with the introduction of the White Rabbit, it completely changes the dynamic of and El Bunny, but it completely changes the dynamic of this team and makes them unforgettable in a different sense.
Exactly. They've pivoted kind of so hard, and where it was so entertaining to watch, especially Saltador.
I mean, Malasuerte too.
We do love Malasuerte, friend of the show, Malasuerte.
Yes.
But Saltador, his antics, very entertaining. But now that we've got not only the White Rabbit, not only El Bunny, but this new version of Paul London that we see kind of a little bit more of in the next episode.
But what about this? What was it about this trios match with the Reptile Tribe? That because it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of tossing people around.
Yes.
But it was just an interesting dynamic, and I don't know if this match seemed to be a little bit of a time coming, not necessarily a long time coming. But I think because of the antics of the Rabbit Tribe, I think there's still a triple trios match.
Oh, there you go.
That
could be what we're working towards at Ultima Lucha, maybe. If the 9 of these people are otherwise unoccupied once by the time Ultima Lucha Quattro comes around.
Yep, we still have time.
What I love about this iteration of the Reptile Tribe ever since the departure of Vibora and Pindar is they're all so distinct from each other. They've got such kind of bespoke wrestling styles. We've got Cobra Moon, who does a lot of the more traditional lucha. We've got Jeremiah Snake, who does kind of a lot more of the brawling, and then Daga, we see so much of his kind of submission prowess.
I think Pindar and Jeremiah have some in common, but I think just because of Jeremiah's reputation, there's a little bit more of an edge to
You say
him.
Pindar and Jeremiah do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Pindar and Jeremiah. I think Pindar, because I think he was maybe not necessarily a brawler, but a bruiser. Like, he showed a lot of snakiness, but I think.
Do you mean Vibra?
No.
You mean
No.
the
I mean Pindar.
You mean okay?
I do. Maybe this is for me being not as connected to it, but I thought at least they look the same. Like, they have similar builds.
They're stocky boys.
Exactly. So I think that they bring a lot of similar energy, but Jeremiah Snake represents sort of a little bit more of an edge.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that you can put a face to it. I agree. This version of the Snake Tribe all of their bases are covered.
And I think with Pindar we saw so much, even though he did kind of share that body type, I think we saw a lot more of him basing for smaller luchadors. We saw him in there with Mascarita and with Aerostar and things like that, kind of again sort of tossing them around, and kind of like we saw in this match. Eventually Daga works into the cross arm breaker, taps Joey Ryan out. We get a big ol' attack from the Rabbit Tribe after the match. Was inevitable. And we see sort of, we get to see the White Rabbit kind of in this more manic kind of violent state. We've seen him be reserved and be quiet up until now. And now that he's kind of in the temple, we see more of the killer side, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting. We technically have another god in the temple.
Interesting.
Technically, maybe not necessarily a god, but like the next level of human.
Sure.
Sort of like maybe a demigod.
Demigod, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Like our good buddy Shao Kahn. Shout out to Outworld. I think you're right. I think he's occupying this kind of this sort of limbo state. You know, he's definitely on a higher plane. Or I mean, Paul Lennon could just be full of shit, and he could just be a guy.
But we have more to talk about in the next episode. Then
Exactly. So let's move on. We've got Jack Evans taking on Matanza. Thank you. Jack Evans, he gets on the mic and he says that he does not want to compete in the temple as long as Exolicious has a job. And it's
okay.
It's easy. Oh boy, I don't know, man. There's a lot to unpack there, and I'm afraid of it getting into problematic territory.
I think mostly because I think a U.S. audience isn't necessarily as familiar with Exotico as a character type in wrestling.
Exactly.
That there's a lot more of presumption, and so I think it's less of a grudge about the person themselves versus the type of person that EXO is.
Right.
That it can be extrapolated as that. So this wasn't necessary. It's hard when and Jack also just kind of being a D-bag for as long as we've known him in the temple.
It's obviously consistent with the character.
Yes,
obviously.
But when you're approaching a story thing of we are feeding people to gods, and they're not coming back unless there's some sort, like somebody jailbreak, like I don't know. That was a random poll, but I think.
They're getting sent. I've said before, they're getting sent to the crime-free Dairy Queen.
Yeah, grab me a Dippy bar. And we can't stuff it too full, or else like we only have a certain budget. We can't do it. These are teleportation bullets. Oh man! Oh, that's so good.
It's cheapy D. Yeah. Oh man! But so I think what I worry that it's drifting too close to Ahmed Johnson versus Goldust.
Yes,
If you
that's a
remember
very
that.
good example. Very good example.
Where it was just, and like, it was so telling of the time that Ahmed Johnson was the face in that scenario.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't really have to worry about it too much anymore. We get a nice little match between Jack Evans and Matanza after Antonio kind of
nice little match.
gives him an opportunity to wrestle. Jack Evans gets in more offense than I was sort of expecting.
Agreed.
Including what I believe was our first 630 since the departure of Prince Puma.
That's what's funny is Jack Evans like, I'm taking it back. It's mine now, and I'm dead. And I'm at DQ.
Exactly, yeah. He kind of gets caught right into a Wrath of the Gods, gets sacrificed, and R.I.P. to our resident Dragon Slayer.
No 630s, just right.
No 630s, just right. Outback Steakhouse. What else we got? Moving on. Handicap nunchuck match.
A fellow chucker, eh?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry that it still exists.
Oh, I love it so much.
I can't believe this happened.
It's
in the best possible way.
Of course.
Yeah.
Handicap nunchuck match. The Savage Jake Strong taking on Drago and Aerostar.
The known strong boy, Jake Strong.
I mean, Jimbo and I have talked about it at length before, and there's just not enough Savage or Strong to his character for it to be doing much for us.
No strong, no savage, just Jake.
I mean, I guess he's a little strong, but like
he's just Jake.
he's just Jake.
Just Joe. Just
man,
Jake.
remember Just Joe?
Yeah, dude, he's just Jake.
Joey Legend is great. He's just Jake. Just heard it from a guy. A lot of deep pulls tonight.
Hey man, I'm strong. Okay, we can make that work. Great.
But just like, if you're gonna call someone the Savage, and I mean, like, that's all. Once again, in 2018, that's already sort of got a lot of baggage to it as well.
Yeah, let's make the Savage an average white guy.
Yeah, but like, he's not even doing anything particularly savage.
Yeah.
We've seen much worse. We saw worse tonight.
Yeah, for tonight's episode.
Oh boy.
It's like they have to separate him from the most savage stuff so they can go, for that episode, yes, he was the most
savage man in the building.
What's going to happen in Ultima Lucha Quattro when he's up against a whole slew of hardcoreness?
That's
and then he's going to be like, I'm going to hit you so hard.
I'm so dumb.
But I mean, if he has like Adam Savage in his corner, then like that's one thing.
Oh my god,
known father Adam Savage.
I'd be fully on board with that. Did you never watch like the CKY videos or anything? Did you?
I didn't watch them directly. I would watch the clips.
Like hearing you talk about Savage just reminds me of. This is possibly the dumbest tangent we've ever gone on. But like, Bam and the guys are in a van. They're talking about like fake horror movies. Yeah. They talk about this movie called Cut Butt One.
Hey man, you ever see Cut Butt One?
I'm gonna cut off your butt. That's what it reminds me of. That was so stupid.
One thing, this may not be a House of 1,000 Corpses, but I have seen 96 Quite Bitter Beings come all the way through here.
Boom. I love it. That was one of my OG entrance themes.
Was it?
Just like so many wrestlers in the early 2000s.
Boom! Let's do it. And we have our song for next episode.
There you go. Oh my god. Josh, cue it up. There we go. Main event time. Fatal 4-way for the #1 contender spot.
We didn't even talk about the nunchuck match.
I forgot about that.
Somebody's ankle got broke.
A match happened. There were nunchucks. Drago and Aerostar formed kind of a Voltron at one point. Drago misted him. Aerostar was hitting him with nunchucks from on top of him. But then one of them got tapped out to an ankle lock. Man, I don't know. For it being a nunchuck-based match featuring a literal dragon and a time traveler.
A time traveling airplane.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I'm so happy I added that.
For it having those sort of ramifications, it was remarkably average.
Well, it was similarly to several weeks ago when Strong had the nunchucks and was adding it to the ankle lock. We're like, what is he doing? He's not doing anything.
Like the PTO on top of the announce table.
Yeah, exactly. Or on the entrance ramp. It hurts more? I suppose.
I never realized that PTO like is just paid time off. Like,
Yes.
is that what it was a take on?
But maybe.
So, who cares? Fatal 4-way for the number 1 contender spot. Pentagon, King Cuerno, Mil Muertes, Dragon Azteca Jr. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a ton about this match. If we're being 100 here.
Well, ultimately, this set up 3 matches.
yes, exactly.
It was a number 1 contendership, but ultimately everybody's going to Ultima Lucha Quattro.
Ultimately.
Ultimately, everyone's gonna end up with a dippy bar by the end of the night.
We got a surprise appearance from Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
Shout out to Jean Grey once again. He keeps kind of putting his hands on Melissa, and then Dragon Azteca with that gigantic dive over the.
I don't care about Melissa's well-being. I'm just gonna jump on this boy.
She ran away plenty of time. Everyone's fine. So yeah, we get that match set up. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but eventually we get Pentagon Dark hitting the Mexican Destroyer on Mil Muertes after the return of the Mack.
Return of the Mack. That was another option that we could have had tonight.
I think we've done that before. I feel like we've probably done that a few times.
I've done it a lot.
You've done it.
So, but I don't. There's the dark times that I don't recall.
The Mack returns, hits Mil Muertes with a couple of stunners.
Hell yeah!
Followed up by the Mexican Destroyer. Pentagon gets the pin, becomes the number 1 contender, goes on to face Marty the Mouth Martinez at Ultima Lucha Quattro.
But didn't this set up a couple of other things too?
It set up a few. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I ultimately want to talk about what is the most exciting of the 3.
Okay. I think we can jump into that.
Was Dark Phoenix? Was Phoenix and Dragon Azteca confirmed before this match?
No,
or was it as a result of this?
I think that was confirmed in the following episode.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But shit, I didn't do everything.
That's fine. Maybe.
So a lot of ramifications coming out of this. I guess let's hit predictions.
Sure.
Let's hit predictions. Should we do? Okay. We'll do the predictions.
And now,
real quick.
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Whoops.
So quick, like crazy quick. Okay, quick.
Okay. Get rowdy. All right, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Real quick, super quick predictions. I'll jump into the live read after that.
So Phoenix and Dragon Azteca, like unfortunately, like I've seen them as tag team together, so I know that they have a really good chemistry.
Of course.
So it's one of those things of, I know that match is going to be good.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at these 3, we've seen technically Marty and Pentagon Dark go at it,
right?
But Willie and Mil, that match makes you go, oh shit!
Oh yeah. The death match. We'll get into that. Yes, absolutely. So much. I'm thinking Ultima Lucha. We're gonna see Jake Strong versus like 5 luchadors. Like I want them to bring back Argenis and like. I want them to bring back Bengala, and just now that Jake Strong's doing this American versus Lucha sort of thing, I don't know if I caught you up on that.
No, I knew that.
Okay. Before we leave, AfterBuzzers, our network produces AfterBuzz after shows for nearly all of your favorite television shows. Now that's everything from dramas to reality TV to sci-fi and so much more, because there's absolutely no network that works harder than we do to serve TV fans. But that being said, we need your help. See, we're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. Now, by doing that, YouTube is going to suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and in turn, you're going to help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about those pesky notifications, don't be, because those bad boys are optional. We've been over this. You can have it your way, just like the king. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels while you're at it. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we will thank you on air. But for now, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
And cero miedo.
And that. After the Fatal 4-way, Matt gets on the mic, says that he's not afraid of death anymore, but Mil should be, because at Ultima Lucha Quattro, he is challenging him to a death match.
Man, last death match we had.
And we get, I think, our 3rd F-bomb on Lucha Underground.
Were they all previously? No, because one was Sexy Star.
Yes, one was Sexy Star.
What was the second? I was gonna say, weren't they all Willie? Because Willie's an F-bomb kind of a guy.
No, it was shockingly he is,
Yeah.
but no. I don't think he was the second one. I can't remember. Real quick.
Vamp?
It might have been Vamp. It very well may have been
I
Vamp.
think it was Vamp.
But that means the shit's on. That's what that means.
That's exactly what it means.
It's hit the fan.
Yeah.
We are going to wrap this episode up real quick, and then we're going to be right back talking about episode 17. But where can they find you?
You can find me at Mark B. Donica. You can also check me out on the NXT After Show right here on this very network. Today's episode, that was interesting. Also, check out youtube.com/xpac. We had Scott Armstrong. No, we didn't. What? I'm totally blacking out right now. We had Scott Norton on the show.
Even more exciting.
It was. They talked about Armstrong on the show. So and
Scott
he
Norton.
was. Anyway, Scott Norton, him and Pac going back 25 years, an amazing bunch of stories. Make sure to check that out. Let's do that for now.
Yes, you can find me online at Ty Matthews PMA, as well as on Tuesdays, The Purge After Show, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. We had Jessica Garza in last night, who plays Penelope on the show. It was a fantastic episode, so check that out. And join us next episode for episode 17. Until then, Viva la Lucha!
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.